come to daddy.
Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are perhaps the most famous couple of the noughties. They looked like a role model and an ideal family. Their unexpected breakup shocked the whole world, after which many fans declared they no longer believe in love. Today, we will tell you the full story of Brangelina's relationship, how their love was born, and what is the reason for their toxic divorce. You're on Biographer Express. Sit back, and we're starting. The story dates back to 2003. Jolie, working with the United Nations, adopted Maddox from an orphanage in Cambodia and most recently filed for divorce from Billy Bob Thornton. Pitt had already managed to star in the cult Seven, Snatch, Fight Club, 12 Monkeys, Ocean's 11, and other films that made him the most popular and coveted actor of that time. Their paths crossed in the project Mr. and Mrs. Smith, a comedy in which a husband and wife are struggling to save their marriage until they discover that both are secretly working as killers. There was a spark between the couple and they had a warm relationship on the set. The picture implied a certain closeness between the characters, and some especially sexual scenes had to be cut to achieve a lower age limit. At the time of filming, Brad was still married to Jennifer Aniston. According to Jolie, she and Pitt did not have love at first sight, rather a very strong, friendly partner relationship. It was clear he was with his best friend, someone he loves and respects. And so we were both living, I suppose, very full lives, Angie recalls. I think we were the last two people who were looking for a relationship. I'm definitely not. Being a single mother was fine for me. But then everything changed. I think a few months in, I realized, God, I can't wait to get to work. Anything we had to do with each other, we just found a lot of joy in it together and a lot of real teamwork. It was only at the end of filming that we realized that maybe it was something more. At that time, Pitt and Aniston were doing a joint renovation of their home in Beverly Hills, and in an interview, the actress said, "It's difficult to build a house together, and if you succeed, you will survive anything." In 2004, Jennifer finished acting in Friends and thought about expanding her family with Pitt. However, the couple was not destined to have a child. In January of the following year, they broke up. And after the release of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt officially filed for divorce.
Tell me what it was like the first time that you laid eyes on Angelina. Was it like one of those classical love stories, like when, I don't know, when Ross first saw Rachel? You know that show, Friends? Have you seen that?
Soon, pictures of Brad and Angelina and her son Maddox on the beach in Kenya appeared in magazines. It seems that this is where the relationship of the star couple began. In the summer, Jolie went to Ethiopia where she adopted her second child, newborn Zahara. Pitt accompanied Jolie on this trip. The media called Jolie a marriage wrecker, but she claimed that she was not the reason for Pitt's divorce from Aniston. To be intimate with a married man when my own father cheated on my mother is not something I could forgive, Angelina said. I could not look at myself in the morning if I did that. I wouldn't be attracted to a man who could cheat on his wife. In January of 2006, the couple achieved important changes in their family ideal. Pitt was approved the right to legally adopt Jolie's two children, Maddox and Zahara. A Los Angeles judge approved the couple's petition to change their name, after which the surnames of Maddox and Zahara were officially changed to Jolie-Pitt. They're as much of my blood as my natural born, and I'm theirs. That's all I can say about it. I can't live without them. So, anyone considering adoption, that's my vote. In addition, during the same period of time, Angelina announced that she was expecting a baby from Brad. On May 27, 2006, Brad and Angelina had a daughter, Shiloh Novelle Jolie-Pitt. The couple welcomed their first child together at Cottage Hospital in Swakopmund, in the African country of Namibia. The name Shiloh is biblical and translates as the peaceful one. However, the couple was in no hurry to get married. In a September interview with Esquire, Brad Pitt said that wedding bells would definitely ring for him and Jolie when it became available to others. Angie and I will consider tying the knot when everyone else in the country who wants to be married is legally able. Soon after that, there were other joint appearances on the red carpet, interviews about the beginning of their relationship, and children. And already in March of 2007, Jolie went to Vietnam where she adopted a third child at the Tam Bin orphanage, a boy Pax Tien Jolie, whose name means peaceful sky. Pitt couldn't visit it due to his filming schedule, but it's for the best. According to Vietnamese law, it is more difficult for an unmarried couple to adopt a child, and Jolie's name was the only one that appeared in the adoption application. A year later, Judge L.A., the county children's court, authorized Pitt with paternal rights over the boy, and the surname was changed to Jolie-Pitt. At that time, Jolie was pregnant again. There was no official statement from the couple, but at the 2008 Film Independent Spirit Awards ceremony, Pitt and Jolie appeared on the red carpet, where Angelina's growing belly was noticed. Soon, it became known that they were expecting twins. Then, already being a large family and waiting for replenishment, the couple rented Chateau Miraval, an 880-acre estate in Carennes, France. Its cost was estimated at $70 million, and the territory included its own vineyard, olive groves, a lake, fountains, and a forest. Angelina also planned to give birth in France. Later in 2012, Pitt and Jolie officially acquired the property and launched the Miraval Wines wine business, in which Brad actively invested his own profits. The brand will become successful. In a 2008 interview with Vanity Fair, Angelina Jolie said that humanism and philanthropy brought her and Brad closer together. "We have similar interests but different approaches. He's more involved in rebuilding New Orleans, environmental issues, and green sustainability. I am more about refugees. When it comes to common goals, orphans rights, children, we support each other. It brings us together and makes our relationship work." On July 12th in Nice, the couple had twins Knox Leon and Vivienne Marceline. The couple's older children helped them with the babies. Parents themselves had never taken on work projects at the same time, so that one of them always spent time with the children. In 2012, in a conversation with CBS News, Pitt said that he and Jolie were under a lot of pressure from their children. They were asking them to get engaged. It means something to them, and they have questions when their friends' parents are married, and why is that? We will someday, we will. But the kids say, "Get mommy a ring." Okay, I will. On April 12th, it became known that the couple was engaged. However, the wedding had to wait a little longer. Fearing the fate of her mother, Jolie underwent a preventative double mastectomy to avoid breast cancer. Brad strongly supported the bride. And on August 23, 2014, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie finally got married. The private wedding ceremony took place surrounded by 20 of their closest friends and relatives, including 6 children, in the chapel of the Chateau Miraval, the family's estate in the French village of Carennes. The children took an active part in the organization and even helped their parents write their vows. Angelina walked down the aisle with her eldest sons Maddox and Pax. Zahara and Vivienne were the flower girls, and Shiloh and Knox were the ring bearers. Besides, Pax made a wedding cake.
Is it hard for you to maintain a suntan?
Why?
Because you live in your wife's shadow?
It seems that everything was just perfect. However, when you hope that this fairy tale will continue, it turns out that this is the beginning of the end. In August of 2014, Pitt and Jolie went on a honeymoon to Malta. The plans included not only a vacation by the sea, but also work on a new project, the showrunner of which was Angelina herself. I wrote something a few years ago for Brad and me, just for fun, just an independent little art piece. Because we don't get to do those as much as we'd like, but it's sometimes really small and experimental. So for most of the vacation, the newlyweds filmed the movie By the Sea, a drama in which they portray a married couple experiencing sexual attraction to their neighbors. The film shows the story of a complicated relationship of a married couple who goes to a resort in an attempt to save their marriage. On November 5, 2015, the premiere of the film took place. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie walked the red carpet hand in hand. Critics called the film terrible. The picture was not a success, having failed at the box office, and only $3.3 million of the $10 million spent on production were paid off. However, it turned out that the experiment was not really an experiment.
Well done, darling.
As it turned out, the filming was also an attempt to preserve their relationship. The The shooting was supposed to be a great opportunity for them to talk and sort out their marriage. According to Jolie, they learned certain things about each other. However, the feeling of heaviness did not disappear anywhere, and it was definitely not because of the movie. Shortly after the second wedding anniversary on September 20th, 2016, Jolie filed for divorce from Pitt. Citing irreconcilable differences, she demanded physical custody of their 6 children and the possibility of Pitt visiting the children. The actress did not ask for alimony, although she questioned Brad's parenting methods and was unhappy with his outbursts of anger, as well as how often he drank alcohol and smoked marijuana.
Jeez, I wonder what that is.
It's a bassoon.
I thought it was a bowling ball. You know, Thank you.
For a long time, both refused interviews and questions about the divorce. The decision was made for the sake of the family's health and well-being, and at this difficult time, they wanted privacy. I am very saddened by this, but what matters most now is the well-being of our kids. I kindly ask the press to give them the space they deserve during this challenging time. What else could Brad have said at that moment? He was broken and lonely. Problems with alcohol really came to surface. And if he gave up all the bad habits when children appeared in his life, then alcohol continued to be the only salvation in those difficult situations. By the way, write in the comments about whose difficult fate we should tell more of. In 2007, Pitt finally gave his first interview after the breakup. He said that he stopped drinking and was starting a new life. He spoke out how he learned to take blows and became stronger, and how every morning and evening before going to bed, he made a fire to feel life in the house. In it, he said, "A few months ago, I had frightening dreams all the time. I was lying in bed and asking myself, what can I get out of all of this? Now these dreams have stopped. Now I experience moments of joy when I wake up and realize that it was just a dream and that I feel a little sad. I understand that I'm in the middle of this process, not at the beginning, not at the end, but right in the middle. This is the fucking middle, but, you know, I don't want to hide. I want to stand with my shirt open, take blow after blow, and see everything." Almost 3 years after Jolie first filed for divorce on April 12, 2019, the court recognized the couple as officially unmarried. But the process of completing the divorce was delayed. For several years, Pitt and Jolie have been in constant negotiations about custody of their children and the division of finances. The court, in turn, warned Jolie that if she continued to interfere with Pitt's communication with the children, she herself may lose custody. Meanwhile, the media, in search of the reason for the divorce, began to spread rumors about Pitt's numerous indiscretions. Marianne Cotillard, his partner in the film Allied, was also in on this list. However, the journalist did not find any evidence. Soon, the trial slowed down due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and despite regular visits to the court, there was not much progress in terms of solving the problems. In August of 2020, Angelina Jolie demanded that the court change the judge of their trial. According to her lawyer, all she wanted was a fair trial based on facts, without any special privileges of one of the parties. The actress felt that the judge was biased in favor of Brad because of their personal ties. Then the tension between Brad and Angelina escalated significantly. They even stopped conducting family therapy while they were preparing for a custody trial in October of 2020. Pitt hoped to negotiate their joint physical and legal custody of the children, but Jolie was not satisfied with this arrangement. "It's been pretty hard to navigate. I've been focusing on healing our family. It's slowly coming back, like the ice melting and blood returning to my body." Court documents that surfaced during the duo's messy divorce alleged cases of domestic violence. In her statement, Jolie said her children were willing to share evidence and authority in support of the allegations against Pitt. Later, information surfaced that in 2016, Angelina filed a police report against her then-husband. She reported that Brad became aggressive while flying on a private jet. The actress claimed that Brad shouted at her, grabbed her by the head, shook her, and pushed her into the bathroom wall. Angelina also said that Maddox stood up for his mother and Brad hit him too. But that case was closed due to the lack of evidence. Only the direct participants of the conflict know what actually happened that day. In May of 2021, the judge presiding over the divorce case refused to hear testimony from the children regarding Pitt's alleged history of domestic violence. He considered that the provision of joint custody would not be in the interests of the children. Despite Jolie's testimony, the judge ruled in favor of Pitt and previously allowed the exes to share time with their children. Jolie was bitterly disappointed by this decision. However, her testimony was not credible. The decision was based on extensive testimony from people who spent time with children and also from highly respected professionals. Pitt, for his part, was delighted with the judge's decision.
Thought of a number of lines for this moment. Thought I'd just drop in. Hey, doll, thanks for giving me the shaft.
The actress decided not to give up and was not going to forgive Pitt. She planned to use everything she had to appeal the arrangement. According to her, this is far from the end and she still believes that justice will prevail. In court documents, Jolie's lawyer went so far as to accuse Pitt's legal team of acting behind her back to hide judicial bias. Jolie then insisted that Judge John W. Oderkirk be suspended. After he refused to disclose his current business relationship with Pitt and his team, John W. Oderkirk was disqualified on July 21st. A month later, the actor fought back by filing documents asking to review the decision of the 2nd District Court of Appeal in California in the state's highest court. In September, hearings on the division of property began. The couple fought for joint ownership of the Chateau Miraval winery, while Pitt claimed that Jolie's attempts to sell her shares deprives him of the opportunity to make a profit. After disputes, Jolie sold her share in the estate and the Chateau Miraval company for $164 million. It was February of 2022. You ask us, what's going on? Everyone continued to sue and divide property. Pitt filed a lawsuit against Jolie, claiming that the actress sold her stake in the Chateau Miraval to a third party without his knowledge. According to Pitt, the ex-wife violated their original agreement to sell their shares only by mutual agreement and tried to earn a profit that she did not receive. The actor wanted the sale of Jolie's shares to be invalidated and receive compensation. Pitt was trying to buy his ex-wife's share in the company. He assumed they would sort it out because Jolie knows how important the winery was to him. As a result, Brad was devastated when he found out about the sale of his share in the winery amid their conversations that he wanted to buy it out. It was another blow to the patient.
There's this huge space between us, and it just keeps filling up with everything that we don't say to each other.
The actor was not ready to give up the custody battle, despite Jolie's obvious hopes that the children would not want to have anything to do with him. But from April to June, there was no progress in their process. Brad understood that Angelina was trying her best to slow down the process. All he had left was to work with his team of the lawyers and draw up documents responding to her claims. Month after month passes one red tape after another. There was endless bickering between the couple's lawyers without a resolution. In June, during the proceedings for the sale of Miraval, it was stated that the buyer of the shares launched a hostile takeover aimed at destabilizing the business and tarnishing the brand's reputation. Thus, Jolie not only violated the agreements, but also encouraged Pitt to enter into a partnership with a stranger with destructive intentions. In August of 2022, Jolie and Pitt continued to argue about the winery, although the actor tried not to let the drama affect his relationship with his children. He tries to see them as often as possible, wherever they are. He flew to Italy for the twins' birthday, and it meant a lot to them. He worried about Shiloh when she turned 16. Brad cherishes every moment spent with his children. He likes being a parent, and he tries to make the most of it, no matter how difficult and hostile the situation with Angelina Jolie is. We continue to follow the career of the actors and believe in a happy ending to this difficult story. And if you suddenly missed it, we have a video on the channel about the trial of another acting couple, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. There, we tell how their acquaintance turned into a toxic relationship and how Johnny defended his innocence. Click on the icon on your screen to find out all the absurdities of their trial. At this point, today's video has come to an end, but don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. We cherish every subscriber. Biographer Express was with you. See you soon.